Hello everybody, this is IndieGeek, and today I'm taking a look at Fractured Soul from Endgame Studios. So this is available not only on at least PC and I think Mac, but it's also available on 3DS. But I'm only going to link to, basically I'm just going to link to their homepage, which will have links to where you can purchase it at basically your desired storefront. I believe it's available on Desura and Indie Game Stand. I think that's it. And it does have a Greenlight campaign, and I will link to that as well. And I do encourage you to go vote, because I think it's pretty good. I'm having a good time with it so far, and I think what I'm going to do here is just jump in with a new game and show you guys kind of from the beginning what's going on with this game. So you can play this with 2 players. I'll be playing with 1, and I'm going to play on normal difficulty. So we do get kind of a little bit of a story here going. The 3 outposts of the Typhon cluster slide gradually into view. Your trial is finally upon you. You burst from your craft the moment it touches down, aware that every passing second inches you closer to disaster. The Typhon cluster, bridge between realities, is under threat, and only your powers can save it now. Alright, so I am playing with an Xbox 360 controller. Although, yeah, okay. So what we're going to do here is we press the shoulder buttons on our controller to change which one we control. So that's kind of the sort of the gimmick here with this one, is that we are controlling both, and you have to switch between them. So you can actually go get this like little collectible, and I mean that basically covers what's going on with this game. So I mean, I'm just going to play for a few minutes here so that you all can see kind of what's going on with it. So we do get some combat, of course. But yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty good. You know, it's not like a totally unique idea. I think I've seen a few other games kind of do this before, but it is good. And I think that is... Alright, so there are some tricky things there like that to get some of the collectibles. But yeah, what I was saying was, you know, I've seen the idea done before, but you know, it's still a unique idea, and I don't think it's done so often that it becomes not fun anymore. You know, it's still a pretty neat idea, and I like it a lot. Okay. There we go, cool. So I guess I kind of skipped a little bit of that there, but that's cool. I may actually have like wanted to jump into hardcore mode, because this was actually something that I found with kind of my test playthrough as well, to kind of learn what was going on with the game, is that it's pretty easy. And you know, that is of course only speaking about kind of the first section of the game. I don't know if it gets harder, but like even like collecting stuff is fairly easy. But you know, that's not a bad thing at all, of course. I can't speak as to how well it plays with more than 1 player, of course, because I have not gotten a chance to try that out. I've only played by myself, and I feel like maybe that's the better way to play it anyways. So I was a little slow, but other than that, I did well. I'm just gonna skip through the story now. Leave that for you when you know, if and when you want to purchase the game. So, you know, like I was saying, it's you know, it's pretty good overall. I'm having a pretty good time with it. And you know, if it seems like the kind of idea that you would be into, I'd say pick it up. I'd say give it a shot. It's good. And if nothing else, at least like vote for it on Greenlight. Because, you know, even if this is not necessarily up your alley, it's a good game, and I think, you know, it's a game that deserves to be on Greenlight. I mean, deserves to be on Steam, of course. It is on Greenlight, just needs to be voted on Steam. So, you know, like I was saying, even getting the collectibles is not too bad. You know, I mean, there's some a little bit more challenging platforming, I guess, if you want to go for the collectibles. But you know, it's not like that's really a problem. I'm losing track of what I'm trying to do here. There we go. But yeah, I mean, you know, I have always liked kind of this mechanic of having to basically control more than one character at a time and try and navigate like that. Because it definitely forces you to think in a different way than what you would normally do for a game. But, you know, I mean, this look at is not going to be too terribly long because I don't have too much more to say. Maybe I'll do like one more level. From an art standpoint, I think it looks pretty good. I like the way that the screen is split. I think that's a nice kind of stylish look for what to do with that. Oh, whoops. So, you do see here that we start to get platforming that is a little more difficult. But, you know, I've done like the first, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes of the game, roughly. Oops. Yeah, I was not paying attention there, so that'll be my first death, but that is quite alright. So those guys, you actually have to attack them on both sides of the screen, which I think is... Oh, darn. Oh, right. I remember how to do that now. I'm just bad at video games. Yeah, so like I was saying, you know, I think the art is pretty good. You know, if nothing else, it's got a pretty kind of unique look about it. Oops. Yeah, this section is causing me problems now. I did not have to talk the first time I did this section, so that is kind of how the puzzles are going to get harder, is by basically forcing us to switch in midair, which, you know, is definitely more difficult, so I think that's kind of a reasonable thing, difficulty-wise, for the game to give us. Alright. I will say that maybe I think the health bar is potentially a little too lenient, and I haven't actually tried hardcore mode, so I don't know if maybe the enemies just hit harder or if you start with less health. But, you know, like I said, I probably should have booted into hardcore mode. I just hadn't tried it yet, so I didn't want to do anything too embarrassing. But, yeah, I mean, that is another level finished. Went alright. I'm still a little slow, still get hit a few times, but that is, I mean, that's pretty much the game. You know, I think, well, I haven't really talked about the music. The music's okay. It gets to be a little repetitive, because as far as I can tell, there's only the one music track. But, you know, the levels are short enough that I suppose it's not, like, too bad the way the music is. I would have liked to see a few more music tracks, maybe. And as far as length, I can't really speak to that. This is just kind of my first impressions. This isn't like a formal review or anything. You know, because like I said, I've only played maybe 45 minutes or so. Oops. Gee, what am I doing? There we go. I don't know why that was... I actually don't think... No, I have done this. I forgot about that part, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, so like I was saying, overall, I think it's pretty good. I think if you like this idea, if you're looking for kind of a different take on a puzzle platformer, you know, because this is not something that's done all the time. Like I said, and I've seen it done a few times, but not to the point where the idea is like exhausted. Then you know, I think this is going to be a pretty good purchase for you. If I didn't mention, it is $10, which you know, I think is reasonable. I think that's a pretty fair price for this. But you know, more importantly, I think, is that if it looks like something you're interested, even if you don't want to buy it now, vote for it on Greenlight, because that is extremely helpful to the developers. But you know, I know in most cases, oh my gosh, I am like, it's easy to get turned around in these areas as far as like what pattern of movements you're supposed to be making. What I was gonna say is that I know most developers, if their game gets greenlit, they provide Steam keys if you bought the game before. So I would assume that that's probably going to be the case here. Of course, I don't want to speak for the developers. I will not go for that again. That was silly. Yeah, see, that section's all about just getting to a groove. It's kind of what I like about some of this is a lot of it you just have to find your groove and get through it. But yeah, I mean, overall, my impressions of this are pretty positive. You know, I've had a good time with it so far. You know, it's not the best puzzle platformer I've played. It's not even the best puzzle platformer I've played in like recent memory, but it's good, and I think that's, you know, I think that is that kind of makes it worth it. I mean, the reasons you are going to want this are basically because you are interested in the concept here. You know, this is not going to, you know, I don't think this game is going to like change the face of puzzle platformers or anything, but you know, it's a fun time. Okay, that was really close. Okay, so far so good. So yeah, I'll just run through the rest of this level, and we'll call it good there. But yeah, I definitely do, you know, I don't mean to harp on this, but I definitely do encourage you to vote for the game on Greenlight if it looks like something that you are interested in. Because, you know, Greenlight is a nice platform because we as consumers can kind of let Valve, as well as letting the developers on Greenlight know what we want to see. Basically, we can help shape Steam into something that is ours. And so, you know, that's why it's important where any of these Greenlight games I cover, if it looks like something that you want to see on Greenlight, do go vote, because it really does help a lot. So that is where I'm going to end this, though. Overall, my impressions are pretty positive. You know, like I said, it's just okay. That's kind of my overall impression of it. It's not the best puzzle platformer I've played, but it's certainly not the worst. I mean, I've had a pretty good time with it. I like the kind of, you know, I like the idea of switching between the top screen and the bottom screen to kind of get past the obstacles. So that'll pretty much wrap it up there. So, yeah, as always, feel free to leave comments if there's anything that you would like to comment on. Subscribe to the channel to see more of my videos every single day, and if you liked what you saw in my video of Fractured Soul, please consider clicking the like button, because that could help me out a lot, and I appreciate everything that you do to help. So with all of that being said, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.